Hi, my name is Andy Cruz, and I'm a cloud specialist with Dell's global customer-centric cloud and container team. I've been a part of that team for over 5 years and specifically focused on the federal government. I also have been working with government accounts, both state and local and federal, for many years, and have worked in local government in my previous roles. Today, what we want to talk about is really not about a specific product or offering that Dell has, more around what Dell's point of view is for cloud and how we can help customers bring those solutions to bear. So what we've recognized is that it's a multi-cloud world and that workloads and applications and data are spread across multiple clouds. Well, why is that, right? The simple reason is that different clouds offer more optimal supply chain for different sorts of workloads. And so customers have adopted the clouds that can offer the best supply chain for their particular workloads. And that's created this stratification for things to be spread across multiple clouds. And so while that is, optimal from a supply chain standpoint, it's not optimal from a management and operations standpoint, and more importantly, from a governance standpoint. When we start looking at, some of the security controls and things that need to be imposed, if we don't have commonality of management, we don't have a way to apply those policies across all of these various clouds. So Dell's point of view is really to provide a consistent cloud experience for everything, regardless of what cloud it happens to be on, whether that's a cloud within your own data center, whether that's a public cloud, like, for example, Azure Gov or AWS Gov, or your VMware environment. It doesn't matter. We want to provide a consistent experience because we're able to apply the security controls regardless of where that lives. Our philosophy is to provide simplicity, agility, and control. And we believe that every mission is unique, but we want to use a common framework of orchestration, automation, governance, and security to solve for those specific mission needs, right? So everything's going to be different. It's the same story we've always been telling. Let's provide choice and flexibility, take you as far as we need to without having to go too far. So from a simplicity standpoint, we want you to be able to consume technology and refocus efforts on higher value activity. And I've said this for years, business value and mission value is achieved above the hypervisor. So, doing day-to-day management activities of the hardware, the software, the hypervisor layer, that doesn't really create any value to the mission. It's absolutely necessary and super important to do it, but it's not creating anything towards the actual goals of the mission. So what we believe is not to outsource that to a particular service or anything like that, but to outsource that activity to the technology, the automation, and control of the environment and lifecycle management can be done programmatically so that we're not wasting human resources on that lower value activity. So we can then elevate those human resources into activities that are actually creating value. Again, mission value is created above the hypervisor. Agility. We want to align the technologies that we're using with the mission needs and then be able to rapidly scale. As I'm sure we're all aware, we've been through a pretty significant couple of years here in terms of the need to be able to change with the global pandemic. And I'm sure that we weren't really expecting something like that from a technology standpoint. But the ability to scale and track with the ever-evolving mission is really important to being able to deliver on these services in a fast, way. And then control. I can't speak to this enough because this is, so it's a security-focused effort. We want to minimize the risk and maximize the resources by optimizing compliance and governance. And personally, I tend to think that the compliance aspect is very important, controls like FedRAMP and so on. But I also think governance plays a really important role in that. So we're not always just trying to secure things from, bad, actors, foreign or domestic. Sometimes the governance aspect can keep, those well-intentioned folks that, may do something wrong, even though they didn't mean to, from creating problems for us down the road. In terms of how we deliver this, I kind of teased it a little bit earlier. It's the same message that I've been carrying since I started at Dell 14 years ago. We want to provide our customers with choice and flexibility. We want to meet them where they are, deliver on the things that they need to achieve their goals, and not take them any further than we need to. We don't believe that one size necessarily fits all. So we can do lots of different things to deal with that. So we want to provide flexible procurement, operations, services, and consumption models. And that's what we're doing. So for example, a service, that may be something that's delivered by way of public cloud. We want to understand that. We want to understand the service that we want to deliver and how we best do that. The ownership of that. This is especially important in the government space where, that can be government owned. That could be one of our federal systems integrators that owns the equipment. That could also be Dell that owns the equipment. So we have a lot of flexibility there. Location. This is also becoming increasingly important. Is that in a government data center? Is that in a co-location facility? Is that in the back of a Humvee? So we have a lot of different capabilities there. And then, from a services perspective, who wants to run it? We can certainly address that from a variety of standpoints, including partnerships with our federal systems integrators, as well as Dell services, or let the government run it on their own. Consumption and flex and utility models. These are really important, and this is where kind of the lines are beginning to get blurred in terms of cloud, because we're able to provide a lot of different ways to consume the technology from a procurement standpoint. And that's going to be different, for every particular mission or RFP or whatever we're looking at. But the beauty of it is that these all don't go together in lockstep. These are all the knobs that we get to turn in the context of what sort of solutions we deliver to our customer. So we don't have to say if the government owns it, it has to be so-and-so, in this particular location, or the service that can be delivered in a variety of different ways. So just understand that our whole philosophy around this is being able to deliver on exactly the mission needs. And there's two ways that we do that. We have created a couple of turnkey offerings, and we're going to continue to create turnkey offerings that will fit a large variety of customer needs. So we're providing storage services in a cloud manner. We're providing cloud services, both private and hybrid. Device services are coming soon, backup services, as well as SAP. And then ultimately everything as a service. And you'll see here in a little bit when I get a little further along why I say that, because ultimately that's the vision that we're trying to deliver on. Now, what we do understand very clearly is that not everything is going to be bucketized like that. So we also have a custom pass that can take advantage of some of the same methodologies that we've talked about, yet deliver on very, very specific custom ideas. We use best of breed products. We can choose where the service and data centers are going to live, and we can choose the payment methodology, whether that's ownership, all of those things that we talked about earlier. They're all in bounds in terms of choice and flexibility. One of the things that we're beginning to bring to bear to help with this is the Dell Cloud Console. And so I wanted to talk a little bit today about not only what we do with the console, but also the vision for that. So from today, and this is more of an industry thing than government, we're really offering flexible procurement and billing methodologies by way of the Cloud Console. That's kind of the first iteration. Like, we want to be able to provide our customers with the ability to consume technology resources in a self-service fashion, and also deliver on really, really fast time to values. But that's constantly evolving. And so I wanted to spend just a few minutes kind of on what the vision looks like, because I really believe that if you understand where we're going overall, it will really make sense in the context of what we just talked about understanding that multi-cloud world and unifying the interfaces that we provide to be able to provide commonality of management of those clouds. So here's one thing that we're looking to do. This is not active today. Please note the future vision banner in the upper right. We're looking at multi-cloud management. Like, we'd like to be able to provision and manage workloads across multiple clouds, all within the same console that you're using to procure, manage, and supply chain all of your infrastructure. We're really trying to bring all that together, because again, when we bring it together, we're able to provide analytics to it. We're able to provide insights. Secondly, taking that just a bit further is, okay, maybe I don't want to just provision virtual machines or containers. What if I want to provision an actual workload like Grafana or a data analytics workload or something like that? We're working towards creating this marketplace where you can go and procure not just a piece of hardware, right? I mean, we've been doing that on Dell.com for a long time. We want you to be able to procure the hardware, the software, the licenses, as well as a kind of a blueprint template methodology, and have that provision to your environment, so that you can just begin consuming those resources. Because ultimately, that's what all of this is really about. It's providing a faster time to value on being able to consume the resources. So ultimately, we are looking to be able to provide cloud solutions for specialized environments, starting with the outcome in mind. We always start with the outcome in mind. And then we evaluate the technology, what we need. We look at the operational aspects of it. Who's going to run it? What are the constraints? Where does it need to live? And then we also look at the consumption model. How would it best fit our customers to pay for it? And with that, I would sincerely encourage everyone to reach out to their Dell account teams to work with us to design the as-a-service experience that makes the most sense for what your environment requires. Thank you all very much.